Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the world at noon for this Saturday, November 23, 2024, over 100 persons affected by fire in Majestic Garden St Andrew this morning. JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says the party has ramped up its constituency audits as the due date for the general election gets closer. Police say the law will be strictly enforced at Sunday's JLP annual conference. In news from the region, finance deal to upgrade sewage infrastructure in Barbados described as murky by independent and opposition senators. On the international scene, UN climate talks on verge of collapse as countries walk out over cash. While in sports, it was Leicester 1, Chelsea 2 in the English Premier League action today. The details after this. Over 100 persons are now reeling from the effects of a fire in Majestic Garden St Andrew in the wee hours of this morning. The cause of the fire is unknown and investigators are now on the location to carry out a further probe. There was no loss of life arising from the incident. Senior Superintendent Patrick Gooden, Divisional Commander for the Kingston St Andrew Division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, said a number of units had to respond to the blaze.
1:28 a.m. this morning, the Yorkshire Fire Station received a call of building and fire in Majestic Garden. We heard one unit from Central Fire Station initially responding, and on the arrival, they observed multiple buildings constructed of board and zinc engulfing flames. They called for assistance, which came from Wellington to Yorkshire, of which 3 fire stations. Significant damage was done by the fire to these dwellings. We were notified that a total of 105 persons, 60 adults and 45 children were affected by the fire.
Senior Superintendent Patrick Gooden, Divisional Commander for the Kingston and St Andrew area of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says the party has ramped up its constituency audits as the due date for the general election gets closer. Prime Minister Andrew Holness mentioned last week that he has launched discussions with MPs and caretakers that residents have made complaints about the quality and nature of representation in certain constituencies.
What must happen is that there has to be effective leadership at all levels. The leader has national respect, but representatives, councillors and members of the party are expected to provide quality leadership at the local level. We have expressed some concern. That's why we have done the audits to examine carefully that the constituency structures are in place, they are functioning effectively, so we can in fact provide guidance to members at that level. We have been doing this periodically, but we have to do it this year more aggressively so that the constituency will understand that the effective leadership at the government level will be transferred to the local level.
Dr. Chang says it is imperative that newer members of the JLP embody the same level of effective leadership as their predecessors.
While the economy is doing well, unless the members of the constituency who will vote for the respective member of parliament can get the feeling that yes, I am better off with this leadership, we will not have the success we have. As I said, I've done a number of audits and we're doing more, and we're working with the various MPs. I'm confident we'll get the next job. We have to ensure our next line of leadership at the consensus level can not only appreciate this, but conduct themselves in a similar manner. Effective, strong, active, and integrity.
Dr. Horace Chang, JLP General Secretary. Dr. Chang was speaking at a media briefing at the JLP's Belmont Road headquarters in St Andrew on Thursday. Persons who will be attending Sunday's Jamaica Labour Party annual conference at the National Arena are being advised by the police that no firearms, drugs, knives, ice picks, machetes, long umbrellas, glass bottles or any other item that can be used to cause serious harm or injury will be allowed inside the venue. Licensed firearm holders are being advised that provisions have been made at the offices of the Firearm Licensing Authority FLA on Old Hope Road, St Andrew, for the safekeeping of their firearms while the conference is in session. The police are also advising that no provisions will be made at the Stadium Police or any other police station for the storage of firearms. All patrons will be searched upon entry and any item that may be used as a weapon will be seized. Meanwhile, according to the police, all provisions of the Road Traffic Act will be strictly enforced. Drivers are specifically warned not to allow passengers to hang from motor cars, bus doors, sit on top of motor vehicles, or have any part of their body protruding from motor vehicles. The police are warning drivers to follow the speed limit and refrain from risky and careless driving on the nation's roadways. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government intends to diversify its approach to address the road infrastructure issues, including the potential adoption of concrete road solutions. However, he says the high cost of concrete is a major deterrent to its widespread use on Jamaica's roads.
The science of concrete has improved to the point where it can address many of the negative factors associated with concrete. Now, in Jamaica, whilst we are naturally, from a sociological point of view, societal point of view, moving towards concrete as the main form of construction, we have not adopted concrete as a solution for our road infrastructure. And the general reason for that is the cost of concrete. And given the number of roads that we have, it would be prohibitive if we intended to cover many of these roads if we were to replace asphalt with concrete.
The Prime Minister was speaking at the handover of a concrete pavement on Bay Farm Road in West Central St Andrew on Thursday. He adds that despite the cost factor, the government is considering the potential adoption of concrete solutions for some sections of the road network.
Our policy is evolving, and why I've partnered with CEMEX and Carib Cement is to have opportunities to test the products. And we are now looking at how we can deploy concrete in areas like these, which would not require the level of reinforcement and other support for general deployment on roads. So to deploy a concrete solution in a horseshoe, as we call it, like this, is far different from employing the concrete solution on the main road that passes here.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Holness says asphalt will remain a primary material for road repairs and construction in high-use areas of the country. He adds that the government is exploring other road solutions.
In the years to come, you're going to see a greater deployment of concrete, particularly in communities, in community roads, maybe parish council roads, in situations like this. So I want to use this opportunity to say to the nation that as we come to grips with our road problem, our aged infrastructure problem, that it is not going to be only the application of asphalt, but we will be using other solutions as well to treat with the problem.
Andrew Holness, Prime Minister. And now to news in the region. The government's $600 million deal in loans and grants to upgrade Barbados' sewage systems, including a controversial debt for climate swap, came under further scrutiny in the Senate on Friday. Independent Senator Dr. Crystal Drakes and Opposition Senator Ryan Walters raised concerns about transparency and accountability. The resolution under Section 2 of the Special Loans Act is tied to the Motley administration's debt restructuring strategy and promises upgrades to the island's aging south coast and Bridgetown sewage infrastructures. But the two lawmakers said the deal lacked clear details about its impact on Barbadians. Senator Drakes acknowledged the importance of the initiative, but stressed the need for more comprehensive information. On the international scene, the UN's climate summit COP29 is on the verge of collapse after a bitter fallout between richer and poorer countries over money. Developing countries have dismissed an offer of $250 billion per year to help them tackle climate change. Some want a figure closer to $500 billion. In a dramatic turn, several countries walked out of negotiations saying they wanted a fair deal but feel they haven't been heard. The anger here from developing countries is palpable, a BBC environment correspondent Matt McGrath writes. Nearly 200 countries are trying to reach a deal at the summit in Azerbaijan, which has already overrun by more than 24 hours. Let's now turn to sports because Nicholas Jackson and Enzo Fernandez goals secured a dominant away victory for Chelsea at Leicester. Jackson 23 scored his 5th goal in 4 consecutive away games as he outbattled defender Walt Faze to win a long punt upfield, which he finished well after Fernandez played him into position in the 15th minute. Fernandez then headed in from close range on the rebound after goalkeeper Mats Hermansen saved Jackson's initial effort to seal the win. Jordan Ayew dispatched a late penalty for Leicester in the 95th minute after Romeo Lavia fouled Bobby de Cardova Reed in the box. And now for a recap of the top stories making the news at this hour. Over 100 persons affected by fire in Majestic Garden St Andrew this morning. JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says the party has ramped up its constituency audits as the due date for the general election gets closer. The police say there will be a strict enforcement of the laws at Sunday's JLP annual conference. I'm Andrew Cannon. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 5 o'clock. However, stay tuned as we go back to Talk Up Youth.
If you're struggling with rising bad debts in your business, don't miss the Debt Collection Conference 2024 under the theme Collect Your Debts in Data Protected Jamaica, November 27 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Learn how the Data Protection Act affects debt collection, the art of convincing your debtors to pay, and more. Get coffee breaks, lunch, and seminar materials for $18,000. Register now. Call the Jamaica Debt Collection Association at 876-820-6082 for more details.
The EdgeChem annual yard sale is back, better than ever, and coming to an EdgeChem store near you. Portmore and Mandeville, November 23. Junction St. Elizabeth, November 30. Falmouth, December 5. Dome Street, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios, December 6 and 7. Fairfield, Montego Bay, December 14. And Carifta Avenue, Kingston, November 28 to December 21. Gates open at 8 a.m., so stop by early to make the most of these amazing discounts at the EdgeChem yard sale. EdgeChem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time.
For Christmas is... Wait, Chris and Charles has great loans and something extra special this season? Yes, we're spreading joy to everyone. Starting November 1st, 2024, get a low interest rate Christmas loan and a special reward just for you. Call 876-926-0609 or visit our website for details. Better hurry, conditions apply. Stocks are limited. Promotion ends December 23rd, 2024. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
If you're struggling with rising bad debts in your business, don't miss the Debt Collection Conference 2024 under the theme Collect Your Debts in Data Protected Jamaica, November 27 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Learn how the Data Protection Act affects debt collection, the art of convincing your debtors to pay, and more. Get coffee breaks, lunch, and seminar materials for $18,000. Register now. Call the Jamaica Debt Collection Association at 876-820-6082 for more details.
Talk up youths. Hey. Oh yeah, boy. Listen. Right about now we want to tell them. We tell them say youths, you have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time. Youth for chat and youth for act and youth for unite right now. No silence. Youth, you have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time. Tell the people.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Talk of Youth Radio Show right here on the best revolution station in Jamaica, nationwide 90 FM. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into a very, I think, educating conversation as we're going to speak to U.S. professor, Dr. Sean Hutton, in our Youth for Jack segment that is that of a conversation speaking about mental health, in that just Mental Health Day and recognizing that of Mental Health Day. So World Mental Health Day was recognized on October 10th under the theme Mental Health is a Universal Human Right.
So the purpose of World Mental Health Day is an international day for global mental health education, awareness and advocacy against social stigma.
Yes.
It was first celebrated in 1992 at the initiative of the World Federation for Mental Health, a global mental health organization with members and contacts in more than 150 countries.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to speak to a graduate from Pace University with a master's in counseling of substance abuse and concentration, and she would have earned her PhD in educational psychology. So, Dr. Hutton is a registered mental health counselor, intern, certified life coach, as well as a certified addiction professional. She has worked with teens since 2005 in the capacity of an intervention counselor, and for the past 4 years as a behavioral health professional in the high school setting. Good afternoon, Miss Hutton. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you, gentlemen, for inviting me to speak on this very important topic.
Yes.
I appreciate your time.
It is our pleasure to have you
It's our
on,
pleasure.
Dr. Hutton. All right, so first of all, I want to welcome you to the Talk of Youth Radio Show. How are you doing, though? How are you feeling? What's going on? How are you?
I am good. It's Saturday and I'm relaxing and listening to you guys.
Yes.
Very impressed about your show. Very impressed.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
All right,
for
so we're
that.
just going to run into the question. So what would you say inspired you to do studies in counseling psychology?
Well, as an undergraduate college student, just meeting classmates whose parents or guardians struggled with the disease of addiction, I saw directly the impact of growing up in such an environment, and the experiences definitely negatively affected these young people and their ability to adaptively engage in their social relationships, and it really negatively impacted their self-concept, their self-esteem, right?
Wow.
And so I pursued the degree because I wanted to see how I could be a part of helping to prevent or somehow intercede in the individual devastation that plagues families.
Wow. It all starts with wanting to help, you know. I'm glad you said it a while ago, you know. That's just, I love that. And just being able to make an impact in that way, it's just very good.
Dr. Hutton, what would you say inspired you to do studies in counseling and psychology?
Well, as I said before, just seeing the impact of growing up in an environment where you as a child are not able to you have no control. And so being able to talk with somebody about how to navigate day-to-day life stressors, I think is important for a young person. And so being that agent to kind of help that process, I thought was important.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for answering that question. So what is your experience with individuals with mental health issues, though? Like, especially on your side of your world, what is experience like?
Well, my experience with people living with mental health challenges is that they struggle to get back